Imagine you are at a coffee shop and you want to order a latte. You'll say, "I'll have a latte please" to the barista, and they respond with, "Coming right up. Would you like whole milk, skim milk, or a non-dairy milk alternative?" Well, this simple conversation is an example of chatbot in action. But have you ever wondered how chatbots actually work? Behind the scenes, there is a complex system of code that allows a chatbot to understand what you are saying and respond accordingly. In this video, we'll break down the code line by line, so even if you have no coding experience, you can understand how chatbot is built. We'll use a real-world example of finance chatbot that can answer questions about stock prices and portfolios. So by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how chatbots work and maybe even inspired to build your own. So let's get started with understanding the code. We will run this code in Google Colab and we will use Python for coding. So let's get started. So this is the code. In this step 1, we will import libraries where we will import NumPy, which is a library for numerical computation, TensorFlow, which is a library for building artificial intelligence models. Sequential is a type of neural network model that we will use. Dense, activation and dropout are the layers that we will use in our model. ToCategorical is a function that helps us convert labels into a format that the model can understand. Train test split is a function that helps us split our data into training and testing set. Text vectorization is a layer that helps us convert text data into numerical data that our model can understand. In this step 2, we will define some dummy data. So where we are defining some sample data for the chatbot that can respond to user queries about portfolios and stock prices. So here we have taken this greeting, stock price and portfolio. We can add more intents in this dummy data as per our requirements. In this step 3, we will pre-process the data set. So in this pre-processing, we are extracting the tags, patterns and responses from the dummy data set. So here we are converting the tags into numerical values using this dictionary. And then we are creating a new list of tags that correspond to each pattern. After this, we will split this data into training and testing set. So here we are splitting our data into training and testing set using train test split function. And then in the step 5, we will have one hot encoding for the tags. So here we are converting our tags into one hot encoded format using ToCategorical function. Next, in the step 6, we are creating a text vectorization layer that can convert text data into numerical data. Also, we are setting the maximum number of tokens to 1000 and the output sequence length to 10. In this step 7, we are adapting the vectorizer to our training data set. In this step 8, we are vectorizing our training and testing patterns where we are converting our training and testing patterns into numerical data using vectorizer. In this step 9, we will create the model. So where we will create a neural network model using sequential API. We are adding layers to the model, including dense layer with ReLU activation and dropout layers. After this, in the step 10, we will compile the model. So where we are compiling the model using Adam optimizer and category cross entropy loss. In the step 11, we are training the model on our training data set for 50 epochs with a batch size of 32 here. We can also use 30 here. In the step 12, we are redefining the functions to predict tags and get responses. So where we are defining two functions, one to predict the tag for a given pattern and one to get a response for a given tag. So here if we say this tag other than this the patterns which are given in the list, it shall reply, "I didn't understand that." So if the user says quit, then the chatbot will say goodbye. So after this, in the final step, we are testing the chatbot by repeatedly asking the user for input and responding with the predicted tag and response. So we have already run this code, so we will show you how it shall work. So in the first step, suppose we say hi, it shall respond, "How can I assist you?" So we'll ask the questions from the intents which we have used. So let me ask, what is the stock price of Apple? So here we can add other intent, or we can say ki if the user asks that type of question, then what can be the response for this. So here it has told me the stock price of Apple is $100 because I have written that. If I'll ask what is the stock price of Apple, it should mention that the stock price of Apple is 100 rupees. Next, I'll ask what is my portfolio. So it shall answer your portfolio consists of Apple, Google and Amazon, etc. So let me check whether it works that way or not. And yes, it's working like this. And when I say quit, it should quit from this code. So let's try with that too. If I say quit, the code must stop working, right? It has stopped working. Yeah, that's it. And it has answered goodbye.